this: sexism or transphobia, you decide. So first, some housekeeping here, some updates about like transitioning stuff. I did start doing some vocal training, which there's a lot of resources out there. There's YouTube videos you can go watch. There's websites that have videos that you can go watch. You can hire like a one-on-one instructor. And it's actually very technical and it's pretty hard. And my whole stance was, even if I can't achieve like a voice that's more feminine, at least it would help me with the podcast. Just not being very monotoned and putting all of you guys to sleep. So I did start that. Today, I actually submitted the paperwork to change my ID. One, update my photo. My photo still had a beard. I have been kind of harassed is not the right term, but like questioned a lot. Whenever I'm trying to buy alcohol, they look at like me, they look at my ID and they're like, this doesn't look like you. And I'm like, crap. You are correct. But at the same time, can we do like, I don't know, the reverse Batman here? Does it look like me if I just like put my, I don't know. But, and yeah, that is fair. No one wants to like lose their like liquor license because, they sold me, who could very well pass as an 18-year-old. I get it. I look really young. Thank you, everyone. But I did update my picture on my ID as well as my gender. So my gender on my ID when it comes in like 2 weeks will be female instead of male. With that, we are like edging closer. Oh, why did I use that word? We are inching closer to a change of pronouns. So I was using they, them as I was trying to figure out like who I am, what I want to do, my goals. I will say like all of that is like now pretty set in stone. I struggle with using like she, her pronouns without looking very she, her-ish. So we'll see when I make that like official change, but things are slowly changing in multiple places to she, her. I'm going back to Planned Parenthood next week. I am trying to get prescribed HRT now and then not start it until I come back from Japan, mainly because I'm a little freaked out about this administration. So that update about transitioning. I'm not sure if we covered this on the podcast, but over Christmas break, my family and we went up to Victoria, Canada, where oddly enough, and I wasn't really expecting this, I had my first like transphobic comments.
We didn't cover this.
Oh, okay.
No, we haven't covered this on the podcast.
So there was two different cases where I was walking down the street. We were doing some shopping. So one person walked up to me and in a very Canadian way was like, you're a bit confused, aren't you, eh? And I just like kept walking, ignored it. That was that. Didn't super bother me. Second person was like, wow, like Halloween must be every day for you, eh? Which I was like, I love Halloween. So I literally was like, yes. In a very actual, authentic, excited way. I was like, yes. And then it hit me like, oh, you're being a dick. But the person already like went on. Like they were very nice about it, like their transphobia, but it happened. I don't know. I wasn't expecting Canada to be like my first like face-to-face.
But it's Victoria. Comment. You know what I mean?
I have no idea what that means.
Victoria's kind of stuffy. Okay, it's not nightlife-y. It's very like rich people and like, it's the Empress Hotel and high tea and that kind of stuff. I've been to Victoria. It's a pretty kind of place. And so the fact that again shouldn't happen, but the fact that you ran into it in Victoria, of all places, somehow doesn't surprise me. Because
Yeah.
they're like old, they're all old people there, right?
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that,
I think you would have,
so
like the chat saying, I think you would have a very different experience in Vancouver. I
mm,
know we used to drive up there when I was 19 because the drinking age in Vancouver, British Columbia is 19 years old. And so you could go across the border as an American at 19 and go up and club for the weekend in Vancouver and drink, and it was legal. So, just something to keep in mind.
interesting. Yeah, and both cases, they were much older people.
See what I say?
Um,
Old rich people.
yeah. But so that catches us up. Since our numbers like spiked on Discord, I take it Canada Dry is back. She wanted to be here for this one. Um, so something really interesting happened at work. And at first, I didn't really think too much of it because I've kind of been expecting things to be different, right? But then the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me on multiple different levels. And when I talked to a couple of different women in the office, one literally started shaking and it said, "Was there a witness for this?" And I said, "No." And she said, "I need you to please go away because I'm about to like lose my shit and get fired." And I was like, "Okay."
That's a hell of a lead
Uh,
in.
yeah. So what happened? Let's break this down. Um, a person that I know very well, um, and I don't have any issues with this person. We chat all the time, and we chat about a lot of different things. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but we can talk about it and agree to disagree. We don't ever get mad at each other. Um, so we were talking about like someone else brought up pronouns
Okay.
earlier during that day. During lunch, they were like, "Hey, like, I don't use your like feminine name and I don't use like your pronouns because to me, you're still very masculine." Now, I'm going to pause here. At that point, so I was like kind of preparing myself. I was like, okay, I whatever's going to be said, I feel like is not going to be good. And then when they got to that point, I was like, fair. I wake up every day, I look in the mirror, I know how I look, and I thought it was based on looks. And I was like, yeah, fair. I'm working on it. I get what you mean because I think I look very masculine every fucking day. Welcome to gender dysphoria. So then and I will say this, I'm not sure if they realized like that could have been bad. And then they tried to pivot to something to try to make it better and then just dug themselves
Deeper.
a much deeper hole, which
Okay.
is actually what I wanted to talk about today. So they said, not based on how you look. Oh, this is intriguing to me. So it's not that I look masculine.
I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, where is this going? Please tell me.
I'm saying you're telling the story of, and I frequently try to anticipate, like, where is this going? Like, what are we doing? In this particular case, based on the initial statement of I don't do this because of X, and I'm like, but you kind of hinted that it gets deeper, but I'm like, I can't even, not because of your looks. Where is this going?
And for everyone that's watching, I like left this. I did not describe this in our rundown. Like it's kind of like bullet pointed, but I did not explain this to Alex at all. So
I'm learning this with you, the audience, as we go.
Yeah. Um, so they said, yeah, it's not based on your looks,
Okay.
but it's because you're still a leader. Like you are still leading a team. And it shocked me. Like I'm not going to lie. Like I wasn't expecting it and it shocked me. And I was like, "Oh, huh." Eating food as we do. And then it's just like that little thing in your head that just like you just kept going back to. And I was like, huh, what? So obviously, like, are you implying that like you don't view good leaders or leaders in general
As women, yeah. So
as women?
I have two quick questions. One, because the chat, obviously everybody knows Jay was with my spouse. My spouse is in the chat riling things up. So here's my first question. Do I know this person's name? The
I
person who
don't think
said this?
I don't think you've ever met them.
No,
Yeah, no.
not met, but have I heard stories about this person?
Knowing your wife, like maybe,
Okay.
but like, not in a negative way
Okay, so
at
it's
all.
not the
Like,
person who I'm thinking it is. Okay.
I don't know.
Starts with an A.
Oh no, no, oh
See,
no,
that was where my
no.
brain went first. Right?
Yeah.
So, so hang on.
Alex is asking if it was my manager, and I think if it was my manager, I immediately would have been like, "Fuck no, HR, like this is done. Like you did
Okay.
not just say that."
Okay. So let's recap because there's somebody in the audience who's a little lost. So I'm going to recap for the audience, and let's see if I've grokked everything that's said here. So you're having lunch-ish snack with a coworker. Okay. This person says to you, "I don't use your feminine pronouns or your feminine name because I don't see you that way." They immediately back up and go, "And not because of how you look, but because here at work, you're still leading a team, so that means you must not be a female." Am I picking everything up so far?
Yeah. So obviously, those were not the words that were said, but yeah, that was all that
Kind of the
was
gist of where we're
implied.
going.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what happened. Yeah.
I'm doing this for the audience. I'm recap. See, and the audience, somebody in the chat's like, "Oh, okay." Like, we caught him up. We're good. So after they said this, did they continue to dig the hole as deep as they could?
No. And I didn't let them, to be completely honest. I was truly shocked. I didn't know how to take it at first. And they said like, "Oh, don't take that the wrong way." And I was like, "Okay." And then we started talking about like Greenland, right? And that's a that's a much funner topic to talk about. But yeah, like I said, I went back to it in my head and I was like, this is kind of fucked up because like, is this sexist or like transphobia? Like,
Both.
or both?
Somehow,
Yeah.
somehow, they managed to put both together, right? And that, my friend, takes fucking talent. Like, you've got to be talented with your bigotry to somehow, in the same conversation, do a little bit of transphobia and then pivot right into sexism.
Yeah. And to be honest, like I don't have anything against this person. I'm we call these things like blind spots at work
Sure.
where like you don't know that you're being sexist and you are or transphobic. Um so I don't hold any like ill will against this person, but it did like really because every I've been warned. I've been warned by I don't know, a slew of people, like probably 15 plus people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you do not understand. Like, you're going to lose so much privilege
Mm-hmm.
becoming a female.
Yeah.
And like, it's really going to slap you in the fucking face. And you're going to realize it one day. And so I was thinking, I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Here it is. This is the start. Okay.
And I have to imagine it's going to be even more jarring for you because women, people who are assigned female at birth, they deal with this their whole lives, right? And for
Yeah.
those of you who haven't met my co-host in person, right? Like I am like 5'7", meter build. I got a little bit of a beer belly these days. But Jay is tall, former soccer player, like because how tall are you? 6'1"?
I'm 6'1", yeah.
6'1", right? So Jay is 6'1", and prior to that, they're not like small. And so before you started transitioning, and you had the big beard and you were a big dude. I'm going to use this in the past tense, by the way. That's the term in which I'm using, right? So you were kind of that, like, you looked like what people think a guy should look like. A dude, a bro, right? Like, you had that visage at that time.
Yeah.
Right? Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, 100%.
And so I think for you, it may be additionally jarring because this is going to be entirely new to you. This kind of like sexism.
Yeah. I mean, right, like we all have had probably people like question us and think like, oh, like Alex can't do that, or whatever. Which is perfectly fine, but like to go from like, yeah, like this person can handle it, this person's strong, to like, oh yeah, I don't know if they can handle it, and like they're kind of weak, all of a sudden it's like, you're like, I'm still the same person on the inside. Like, you guys realize that, right? Like, I'm not like, I don't know, there's not like an alien inside of me that's like taking over my body. It's still me. My just physical body is going to change. So yeah.
I wish I knew what to say about that. But yeah. Congratulations.
And I will say I talked to two other project managers who were female, who rightfully so lost their shit. And then also like a different like female coworker. And everyone immediately was like, we have to figure out who this person is, like pitchforks and fire and everything. And I don't think that we need to like burn in these people that think this way. But I think it's just like a education, right? And like proving them wrong. And I think that is the biggest. So this is the thing that I keep going back to, like me transitioning. It's not just about me, but when someone and so I have so many friends. I've never met a trans person. They don't understand it. Like, how could someone be trans?
And I think we covered this on a previous show.
Yeah.
I'm going to half agree with you, right? Some of it's exposure and they just have no idea. Okay.
Right.
Some of them are just dickheads and we can burn them. Right. I think what I'm gathering from you is you don't believe that this person went into this conversation, or as they were speaking, were like, I want to fucking take a dig at you. Right. That's not the thing that they were doing. And so you're not trying to burn them because you're like, all right, I don't think you were meaning to do this, so I'm not going to burn you. But yeah, like I said, some people do deserve the burn. Some people deserve it.
If they were like, if this was a different person who I didn't get along with, right? Or if I sensed that they were trying to take a dig at me,
Your manager.
oh, this wouldn't have even been a discussion. Like I know exactly who to talk to in HR. You know, it's like I know the process. It would have been like, hey, we have an issue. Like this is fucked up. And it's just not that. So yeah, don't, please, everyone out there, take like the context of the situation. Don't always just jump to burning the people. And yeah, I think this is like a learning opportunity. And again, like I don't have any ill feelings against this person,
Let's
but it was interesting to get like a glimpse into
Yeah.
how some people think.
And I think this is an interesting conversation. I'm curious how we're gonna market this one on the YouTube channel. It's not part of the stream, but it's an interesting conversation to have. It's so interesting. I think you guys should tell us what you think down in the comments below. If it makes you feel any better, you know, we tend to get a lot of comments on these ones. So, yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below.